Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Gija Natasha, student number F23125200081 from class A. Today I want to share a journal article titled Investigation of Liquefaction in Belarua, Petobo, and Jonoge, Central Sulawesi, Indonesia, caused by the 2018 Palu earthquake sequence. The article was published in 2024 in the journal Engineering, Technological, and Science. I chose this topic because it is closely related to Palu City and help us understand how liquefaction happened after the 2018 earthquake. It also gives us a useful lesson about why disaster-aware planning is important in cities like Palu.
So here is satellite imagery showing the liquefaction phenomenon that occurred in Petobo Balarua and Jonoge in Palu City, Central Sulawesi, Indonesia. It was triggered by a powerful earthquake which caused the superficially solid ground to behave like liquid or mud, submerging nearby buildings.
This article focused on the liquefaction disaster that happened in Palu on September 28, 2018. The main earthquake had a magnitude of 7.5, and after that, several strong aftershocks followed in a short time. The disaster caused serious damage in Belarua, Petobo, and Jonoge because the ground lost its strength and began to move like liquid. As a result, many houses were damaged and some areas completely changed in shape and position. This case is not only important from a geological perspective but also from the perspective of urban planning because it shows how dangerous settlement development can be in unstable land areas. The purpose of this study is to investigate the cause of the liquefaction in the affected areas. The research also want to know whether the main earthquake alone caused the disaster or whether the aftershock also contribute to it. This is important because if we understand the trigger more clearly, we can improve disaster mitigation and planning policies in the future. To analyze the event, the research used the NCER method. This method is commonly used to evaluate liquefaction potential based on soil condition and earthquake response. They use VS30 data and drill data from the liquefaction sites in Belarua, Petobo, and Jonoge. VS30 is the average shear wave velocity in the top 30 meters of soil, and it helps research understand how stiff or soft the ground is. In this study, the research compared the main earthquake with 3 aftershocks to see how each event affected the soil and contribute to liquefaction. So, in simple words, they didn't not just look at the earthquake itself, but also look at the soil condition. The study found that liquefaction in Palu was not triggered only by the main shock. The aftershock that occurred within around 25 minutes after the main earthquake also played an important role in triggering the liquefaction process. This means the disaster happened because of a sequence of strong seismic events that made the soil even more unstable. So, the study emphasized the repeat shaking can increase the change of ground failure in vulnerable areas. This article is very relevant to urban and regional planning because it shows the importance of considering natural hazard before development happens. If an area has a high risk of liquefaction, then it should not be used freely for housing or other important infrastructure without proper analysis. The article also reminds planners that zoning is not only about defining land bifurcation, but also about protecting people from physical disaster risks. In the sense, planning must be based on safety, not only on land demand or economic growth.
The study is directly connected to Palu City because the research location
Are part of the city's disaster affected zone. The finding can help the city government improve spatial planning, especially in areas that may have similar soil conditions. It also provides a strong reason for future development. Even areas that look normal on the surface may be highly dangerous below the ground. Therefore, disaster risk assessment should be included in every major planning decision in Palu. In my opinion, this article gives an important reason that urban planning should not focus only on building, roads, and land use patterns. Planners also need to understand the natural condition of the land itself, especially in the city like Palu that has experienced a major earthquake and liquefaction disaster. If the risk information had been used earlier, some of the damage might have been reduced. So, this article shows the importance of combining science, planning, and disaster mitigation in on strategy. To conclude, this article provides strong evidence about the cause of liquefaction in Palu and show that aftershock also had a major impact. It is very suitable article for our project because it is present, scientific, and directly related to Palu City. More importantly, it teaches us that disaster-aware planning is necessary if we want to build safer and more resilient cities in the future. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this presentation can give us a better understanding of how liquefaction happened in Palu and why disaster-aware planning is so important for the future of our cities. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And I'm down on my hands and knees, begging you please, babe.